What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So after the last video, a lot of you guys were in agreement. You resonated with me and we were like, yes, we are in the same boat. Since isolation, we've been a lot less active. We started to be a little bit fluffier and maybe we don't feel quite so self-confident, and we don't like that, not one bit. So we thought, you know what? It's time to start having a little bit of a diet, moving a little bit more, and taking care of ourselves a little bit better. So in the comments, you guys said, would I share my numbers? Would I share my weight, my height, my macros? Now, all of that is completely irrelevant to you, but I get people are nosy, so I'm happy to share it anyway. Because you could have two people, my height, same goals, same weight. One eats 4,000 calories a day and still loses weight, and one eats 2,000 calories a day and still loses the same weight. Your metabolism is not singly decided by the amount of muscle you have, the amount of body fat you have. Oh yeah, I'm still playing the guitar. And I'm still shit at it. One thing I really want to touch on as well is momentum. Once you start to get a ball rolling, you make a conscious decision to do a positive change in your life, other things fall into place. And here's a perfect example of that. I set my calories out, which ended up being too low, because once I decided, almost the next day, once I decided it was time to make a change, I massively increased my non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And that is basically exercise, but not for exercise sake. Now, I'm going to loosely bring this into it. It was actually doing walks, which kind of is exercise, but I wasn't doing it for exercise. I was just doing it because my little girl wanted to go for a walk and my mum wanted to go for a walk. So that's why we went for a walk. Having said that, pre-isolation, my steps were probably between 10,000 minimum up to 20,000. During isolation, they've been at 3,000 steps a day. Now they're back up to 10,000. So my steps, or my calories burnt from steps alone, has trebled. And that makes a big impact. And I was quite aggressive with my calories to start with because I wanted to get the ball rolling. But turns out, once that came into play, I was able to push calories up. So here's my details. I am 183, I'd love to say kilos, but I'm not. I'm 183 centimeters tall, which is 6 foot on the money. Average weight for me is about 83 kilos. Would love to be 90 kilos and lean, but I'm not. My scales will tell me, which is take this with a pinch of salt, but if they're wrong, they're consistently wrong, which is as good as being right, to be honest. And they say between 13.5% to 15% body fat. I'd probably argue a tiny bit higher than that. So I started my calories at 2,800, which is low for me, but I'm aware that I wasn't really moving until I started adding more steps in. I put protein at 2 grams per kilo. The reason I did that is because when we go into a calorie deficit, we want to increase our protein to hopefully preserve muscle mass. And if you're like me, you don't have much of it, you want to hold on to that bastard. So 2 grams per kilo there. So I'm just over 80 kilos, about 170 grams of protein. Can go higher, but that's adequate for me. Fat, I always set, for the most part, at 1 gram per kilo. Then I'm above the baseline levels that I need, and it allows me to have foods that I think taste good, cooked with oils and that kind of stuff. So 80 grams of fat, and then roughly 350 grams of carbohydrates to fill the rest in. However, weight came off a little bit fast. Now, what you have to understand is I expected weight to go off fast to start with, because I'd reduced my carbs and my calories greatly, but particularly my carbs. And for every part carbohydrate you store 4 parts water. So that's why when bodybuilders deplete and then low carbs, and then before a show, 1-2 days, the day of the show, they increase their carbohydrate intake and their muscles fill up. It's nothing to do with fat, it's just water and glycogen inside the muscle belly. Stored energy, but also makes your muscles look better and more predominant. So when I decreased my calories and my carbohydrates, I expected weight to drop initially a little bit faster, which it did. However, it then carried on dropping because I added steps in. So basically what I did is I stuck to those 2,800 calories and then I just added a meal at the end of the day. I don't always track religiously. I like to have a ballpark to know where I'm at. I've done it for long enough, and then I just kind of just tinker with the last thing as it is. So whenever I worked in the gym, I would always set my calories, and I would have all my meals at the gym to the money, and then I'd save myself about 800 calories because that would give me dinner with Rose when I got home. And that's the way I like to work it. And you got to remember that calories are never exact. Sometimes they're put in wrong in MyFitnessPal. There's always a discrepancy somewhere within 10%. And also, food labels and packages, they tell porcupines. On the back of it, if there's a lot of insoluble fiber on it, they'll take that away from the total calories, which is what they do. Just done a podcast. It's time to work out. Let's get a sweat on. We're going to do a 30-minute AMRAP. It's going to be sweaty. It's going to have some barbell, which I haven't done for a while. Let's go.
When I get to it last, get it then I'm never going back. Get it then I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last, get it then I'm never going back. Get it then I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it then I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it then I'm never going. I get to it off the runway. Different incomes, not one way. Living life on a one way. I knew this would happen someday. You can ask my day one day. Cloudy days turn to sun rays. Only way.
Oh, 26 degrees today. When I started that, I was almost all in the shade. By the time I finished, I was completely in the sun. This hose, Bobby's new favourite thing. What she wants to do is stick her head under, fill up a watering can, or drink from the hose. It's dead cute. You having a good time? That was really tough, really shit. I don't know how much of that is the workout was hard, and how much I'm just not very fit. I did 15 rounds exactly, 3 hang power cleans at 60, 10 bar facing burpees and 30 double unders. So what's it, exactly 2 rounds a minute? Sorry, 1 round every 2 minutes. Double unders, well, I haven't done them much because I have to be in the mats outside. So I got to start putting them back in more again. Barely touched the barbell, certainly not cycling. It was just the burpees, to be honest. I like burpees, but just gassed. I mean, try it, give it a go. I got 15, see if you can beat it. Rose, literally as I finished, has just made me a veggie sausage sandwich. One of these guys. I like these, the Lincolnshire sausage ones. So they've got, for 2 sausages, just over 12 grams of protein, 4.5 or 4.6 grams of fibre, and I got 3 of them. So it's like 18 grams of protein and like 8 grams of fibre, 6 grams of fibre, something like that. Winning. I'll have a protein shake in a minute as well. Living the dream. Can you arc up some extra rounds for me? Let's say I did 25 rounds, yeah? Should we put a couple extra on for Daddy? Man, it's getting hot out there now. Tell you one thing I've noticed, and I don't know if you guys found the same. I'm used to sweating a lot. During isolation, when I wasn't sweating, I know this is rank, but I got a really dry scalp, really dry elbows, and I had like proper bad dandruff. Now, since I started working out again and sweating more, it's absolutely fine. Does anyone else have that? It must be like your skin gets used to a certain level of moisture, and then you do that and it just gets dry. It's weird. It's interview time with Bobby Willow. Yay! Tell me what you have to say about your day. Careful with the edge of the sofa, please. Can we sit down, maybe? I'll come to you. I'll come to you. Excuse me? What's that in your hand? What's this? Are you stealing Daddy's protein bars? What's that? Wait, can I have it back, please? For Daddy? Oh well, I'll go back. I'll go to the drawer where they all are. But oh yeah, she knows where they all are. Kidding. So I know a lot of you had started to and are starting to make changes now. Let me know in the comments how you're getting on, what changes you made. We can open up a thread, I can help you guys out, we can help each other out. And that's what I'm gonna leave this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. That's really helpful. It lets other people see the video. We can help more people. Subscribe if you haven't, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.